So I thought I'd spend some time talking to you about Caudalie. Caudalie is a brand that I have partnered with for a few years now. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know. But I like the brand's commitment to using natural products, and they have excellent sustainability practices. When I was first introduced to the company, I was first introduced to the Premier Crew line, which I love. But more recently, about a year ago, I started using the Resveratrol-Lift. Between our 20s and 30s, we start losing our collagen at the rate of 1% per year, which is very shocking. By the time you hit your 50s, like me, you're seeing a lot more wrinkles and deeper ones. And I need more anti-aging products. I don't like saying anti-aging because it's not that I'm against aging. I just think that what we need to do is take care of our skin and make sure that it's the best it can be. This is an improved formula, but don't worry, like if you've been using it, nothing has changed from your point of view. So it's just more effective. I always worry about that when companies take a product that I love and say, oh, we're going to improve it. And you see it missing from the shelves for a little while. And I worry what's coming back to me because what I had was pretty perfect. So it's the same. It's an updated patented blend of resveratrol, hyaluronic acid, and vegan collagen 1. The resveratrol comes from grapevines. As you know, Caudalie's in the winemaking business, and so they're connected to the grape. So this will visibly reduce your wrinkles. And I mean, after a night in the dry heat in the winter, I wake up in the morning and I see those lines on my forehead. Those are the ones that as soon as I apply this, they feel like they smooth out right away. It also has hyaluronic acid, and my routine will always have a hyaluronic acid in it. But the most exciting part is the vegan collagen 1. When creams include animal collagens, our skin doesn't absorb it because it doesn't really recognize it. What Caudalie has done, and I don't begin to understand the science behind it, but what they've done is using mRNA technology, they've created a collagen that looks like human collagen, and they brush it onto the leaves of plants. Then the plants grow this collagen in vertical farms under a very controlled environment and under pink lights, because that's how the plants thrive. And then it's extracted and then our skin recognizes it and absorbs it. And so it's more effective. Naturally, like at this age, I would want to use a retinol, but I can't because my skin is so sensitive. I have rosacea, I can't use it. This is safe and soothing and great for people with all sorts of skin sensitivities. And it's actually 3 times more effective than a retinol. If you're like me, it's not enough anymore for a product to be effective. I need it to feel good and smell good. So what's really great about this consistency is it's silky and milky and it's lightly fragranced. I would say it's fresh and citrusy, but it dissipates. And the creams are luxurious as well. Both of them are very soft and fluffy and really do feel like cashmere on the skin. When I like a product and when it smells good and feels good, I use it more consistently. And so how I incorporate it into my skincare routine, well, this is where it all happens. This is where the magic happens. And I really do mean magic because it's like transforming this face into something that can be seen out in the day. I apply the serum to freshly cleansed skin morning and night. I use a full pump. It's a generous amount. And then I smooth it onto my face and neck. And then I'll follow up with my creams. And the other thing about this that I'll say is if you have other serums you love and you want to mix them up with this, feel free. The entire line is really, really good. And what's great about the creams, both of them have refillable pods. So when you're done, you just have to buy the pod and not the entire jar. Again, it comes back to their commitment to sustainability. The serum definitely is a hero product for me, but I've been using the entire line for a while and it's definitely making a difference. If you do try it, give it about 6 weeks to see the results and then let me know. That's my Caudalie Resveratrol-Lift story. And now back to fashion. I'm finally getting around to talking about t-shirts. I don't know what's taking me so long. I mean, they're such a basic and I pretty much live in them. I do have a standard uniform. But before we get to that, my outfit, these are Oliver Peoples by The Row, a collab, and I'm wearing the Peg shirt also by The Row. And this skirt, I'm gonna link this one because this is still available and it's golden. It's Massimo and it's cotton and light and perfect for summer for me because I still like a maxi skirt, but it's thin and it's got a tailored look, but it's casual. It's got the pockets at the back. I've been wearing it nonstop. It's sort of like, was one of those happy surprises like my mango skirt. The belt is the silver buckled classic belt by The Row. If that's still around, I will link that as well. T-shirts. The Row started
and by the way, this isn't the Row t-shirts video. This is my favorite t-shirts. And I'm gonna start by saying one of my very first pieces from the Row was an oversized jersey tee. And we know that they kind of founded the company on this principle of wanting to create the perfect tee, and they really did do a beautiful, elegant, dressy tee. It was like jersey, and it fluid, and it fell nicely on the body. It was a little thin, but I remember those were the days where the label was that little gold bar with the chain. And anyway, they did beautiful t-shirts back then, and they still do. Now the t-shirts are a little more traditional. They're cotton. I have the Sherman tee, which I wear. It's very nice, and I have both the black and the white in that, and I have a couple of colors that I picked up along the way, like the long sleeved green one, and then I have a yellow one from seasons past. The cotton is soft, it's not sheer, but the problem is, so this is what I'll say, is I love those t-shirts. They're great, but they are just like other cotton t-shirts. When you wash them and then dry them in the dryer, which I do, they shrink. And when you're paying like $500 or $600 for a t-shirt and then it comes out shrunken and not the same, it's very hard to deal with, because you've spent so much, and the last thing you want is basically to have wasted that money, which happened with my green t-shirt, which was the higher neck one, and it was just beautiful, the perfect length. It was cropped. And it's funny because I have this system, and put something in the washer that can't go in the dryer, I put a post-it note on the dryer to remind me to take it out, but the post-it note fell. And I guess in my haste, I opened the washer door and I didn't see it, and I threw everything in. And then of course, when I pulled all the laundry out, I saw the green tea, and there was like, oh, it was too late. So there you go. I'm going to divide this into categories. So I have some more fitted tees and some oversized tees. In the fitted tees, I have casual and a little dressier, and then same for oversized. Before I get into the t-shirts I love and the brands that I wear, everybody looks for different things in t-shirts, and I have t-shirts that serve different purposes. Sometimes I want one that's a little shorter because I'm wearing a skirt and I don't want it to look sloppy and half tucked in. I want it to be proper and dressier. And sometimes I want something with my vintage Levi's that's oversized and very relaxed. But I always consider my proportions when buying tees and sizing. I've told you this before, it doesn't look like it. It might come through here, but I'm very broad-shouldered for 5'2". And I don't want anything that's gonna be like boxy up here that's gonna accentuate that. And also, I'm mature now. There's a part of my arm that I'm not as comfortable showing. So I want the length of the sleeve to come a little lower. That is a new development. And literally like in the last 6 months, something has changed here. The t-shirts that I love, and I have made notes, so I will refer to them as we go along here. COS, let's start with COS. COS makes beautiful tees. They're very classic. They are, sort of like I would say in the standard tee category. They're not too fitted. They're not oversized, crew neck, just the right sleeve length. They're not sheer. What I would say about my COS tees, they shrink about 1 inch all the way around, so be very careful. Think about where you want to end up. Try 2 sizes in the store, and then go up a size if you're planning on drying it. If you're going to dry clean everything, you don't have to worry about that. They wash and wear well. They wrinkle though, so you have to have a steamer on hand. I would highly recommend getting a steamer. Mine's very old. I think there's one, if it's steamery, if I remember it, I'll link it, but it's a very good one. A girlfriend of mine in New York, when I was visiting her, she had it and I was using it. And I thought, if this one breaks, I'm gonna get that one. So I'll link that one. In the small, once they dried and shrunk a bit, it was just enough to do that tuck, but not, like it wasn't exaggerated, and I didn't have all this extra material, which is why I like them. And they have a thicker version tee and a thinner one. I'm gonna link the thinner one because that's the one I like. So that's the more casual one of the fitted tees. The second one that I'll talk about is by Josephine. They have great essentials. I was introduced to that line a couple of years ago, and their Agnes tee is the one that they constantly restock, and they sometimes do it in unusual colors. It's beautiful. It is one of the softest tees ever. like it's almost silky. I'm gonna go grab it and see if I can read the material. So this is it. See how this one creases as well, but not as much as the COS one, but they do crease. So you have to steam them out. 94 cotton and 6 polyamide, so stretch. That's what's nice about this. It has a little bit of stretch and it is really form-fitting. I ended up going for the small because the extra small was really tight. And then of course tight here, and like the bottom would pinch my bicep. And so I didn't like that look. And so I went for a small. I washed it, I dried it, it shrunk an inch all the way around, same as the COS one. I actually measured it, and I took a tape to it, the before and the after. I did this a year ago, but it was about an inch all the way around. So I'm normally an extra small. I took a small. This t-shirt is great because it's thick, because it's soft, and because it's dressy. So it will look nice in the evening under a blazer. You can get away with it. It's a t-shirt, but you can still wear it and it'll look nice. And the neck is, you know, it kind of sits at the right place, and the sleeves, if you're not too self-conscious about your arms, this is a great one, and the length is perfect for a little bit of a tuck or not, depending on what you prefer. So that is my Julie Josephine one. The only qualifying statement I'll make about this particular tee, what I've noticed with this one that didn't happen with the other tees, is a little bit of yellowing under the pits, and I'm not sure if, like, why that fabrication did it more than any of the others. Maybe it's because it has elastane in it, and like that little bit of stretch material doesn't. But then, you know, my husband has cotton tees, his Hanes, and it happened over time. Not a lot, just a little bit. And so a couple of them were not salvageable, but I have a few, so just keep that in mind. And now for the oversized tees. This is where I really get excited because it's part of my daily uniform, an oversized tee and vintage Levi's or my Eglita jeans. And then that's the basis, the foundation, and then I build my outfit around that typically. And the James Perse crepe tee, I'm hoping they're still around because the thing is, James Perse actually does amazing tees. So you know how I mentioned COS and Julie Josephine? Wander into a James Perse boutique if you get a chance. They have a bunch of tees, like the boxy tee, the boy tee. This crepe tee was a new style last year in this beautiful kind of burnout fabric. It's soft, like super, super soft. And the arms, the length of the sleeves, like just covers exactly where I want it to. It's perfectly oversized, and it's great. Like day to day, it's great, but I also like it layered under my blazers because it's a contrast. It's like the elegant meets the kind of casual look. And because I liked it so much, I ended up getting it in all the colors because I knew what would happen was they might stop making them. That's what happens with them. They have their classics, like their boy tees always there, and some of their versions, like the U-neck tee and the V-neck, they always have them. But this crepe tee, I hadn't seen it before, and I wasn't sure if this was going to disappear. So I ended up buying the white, the black, the baby blue, the tan, and then there was a taupe that I got as well. So I got all the colors, and I wear them all the time. In fact, I sleep in them sometimes. They're 100% cotton, and they don't seem to shrink. That is brilliant. And they're super, super soft even after they've come through the dryer and been through a cycle and a few cycles. The black one, I think I snagged it. So you have to be careful because it feels like the material's a little more delicate, and I had like a bracelet on and I snagged it a little and it pulled. But I mean, because it's more casual, you don't really notice it. If that happened to a COS tee or the Julie Josephine one that I'd mentioned, then you would see it more readily, but not so much on this crepe tee. I'll link it for you. I hope there's some available. They start at size 0. The 0 is massive. I took the 0. And finally, this tee. Francis de Lourdes has this beautiful like collection of very core classic pieces in luxurious fabrics and done very well, and very small production. Her Johnny tee is one that I can't live without. It's luxurious, and it's one of those tees that I reach for when I need something that's a little more elegant, upscale, but it's also really comfortable. It's 50% cotton, 50% cashmere. It's a little pricier, and you can't wash it and dry it. You have to dry clean this one, But I like this one so much as well that I have it in all the colors. When I travel, I take them. They're the ones that are constantly being dry cleaned after every vacation because I take them with me because they're a slightly smaller oversized fit. So the Johnny tee is oversized, but when I compare it to my Crepe tee from James Perse, they look a little different. The material, of course, looks different too. And it's so soft, super soft. I like where the sleeve hits there, a little more generous. The thing about the Johnny tee though is the neck is a bit wider, and so it moves around a little, which is nice. If you go up in size, I think I have a small and an extra small, you can kind of pull it off the shoulder if that's a look that you like. And they're particularly nice in the summer evening with, I wore it with my Dorsey necklace, and oh, so elegant and just felt really good. That's really important to me. T-shirts need to feel good. They can't be scratchy. And not only do they have to be flattering, but they have to feel good too. They're delicate. With my Johnny tee, I kind of ruined the neck one. That's on me. I was wearing a necklace that I knew was going to be an issue and it snagged it a bit. So be careful, because obviously be careful, especially when you're spending that kind of money. And I'll circle back, like coming back to the row. I would still keep them in mind because I still have those tees and love them. They're just a different feel. I mean, when you're tucking in a Crepe tee, when you're tucking in the row tee, they look different. The row's thicker, so it's a little bulkier versus the Crepe tee from James Perse. So it really depends on what look you want and how much you're willing to spend. I think that's it. I'll link everything as usual. Let me know how you like these. There are so many to choose from. I could spend an hour talking to you about t-shirts. I mean, if there's a new candidate that emerges and is a front runner, I will come back in another video and give you an update. And until then, happy shopping, and I'll see you again.